Emirates has cancelled all international flights to South Africa with immediate effect. The cancellation is due to Carla regulations announced this week that treat airline crew the same as passengers. Other international airlines have also cancelled all their inbound and outbound flights from Durban. Flights to and from Johannesburg and Cape Town are also expected to be cancelled. Since October 1st, international travel for leisure and business has been unbanned, while leisure travellers from countries deemed high risk will not be allowed in the country. Carla da Silva, chairperson at the Board of Airline Representatives of South Africa, joins us now for more on this topic. Carla, under the new regulations released by Carla, crew members must fulfill the same requirements and adhere to the same regulations as passengers. Tell us, why is this not a practical or reasonable expectation?
Hi, good afternoon. Yes, we are aware of this challenge. The airlines have escalated this matter to BASA, the Board of Airline Representatives. We have already escalated this matter to the Department of Transport and the necessary government stakeholders to please urgently review this matter. It is not practical because already the crew is subjected to 7 to 14-day test cycles under the respective civil aviation authorities regulations in the respective countries. So the crew already subjected to testing as per the test cycles. They're put into what we call bubbles, which is they go into hotels, they quarantine, so they're already in a safe bubble environment. This is not practical at all because considering how many flights there are and the crew interchange, you cannot expect every single crew member to come into a country with a negative PCR. So we were very happy with the Department of Transport directives, and we worked very closely with the CAA, who's done a phenomenal job with regards to these directives, but unfortunately that element was overlooked. They haven't been able to distinguish between the passenger, the traveller, and crew are really essential services. So this has already been escalated to us. We are aware of the problem by our airlines. We have already addressed this with the government departments, and we've actually just prior to my interview, I've received from reliable sources that the information has been escalated and that government is urgently looking at this. Specifically the CAA, who's been working on this matter since this morning when we escalated the matter to the CAA.
Carla, tell us, is this negative PCR test, is that the only point of contention?
That is the issue. The issue is that the crew are coming in and being expected to present the PCR test, so that is the issue, and that is, as I said, being attended to. That is a major problem. Airlines cannot operate under these circumstances. It's also not being requested anywhere else in the world. Hence, you've been informed of the Emirates cancelled flight, and of course we immediately escalated the minute it was brought to our attention. This is a major problem, and we are attending to it.
So were members of the aviation industry or yourselves at BASA not consulted when these regulations were drawn up?
We were. The Department of Transport, together with CA, the directives were, and we agreed that the crew would be exempted from the PCR testing. So there clearly is an issue, there clearly is an error, and hence we've escalated it to be resolved. So we were consulted, and we were very happy with the Department of Transport directives in the sense that they consulted with the industry. BASA was very much part of the engagement together with the CAA, so we were content. But unfortunately, this issue arose thereafter when we understood that the crew were exempted from having to produce a PCR test.
Now, if this matter has been escalated and is addressed timeously, then hopefully those international airlines, including Emirates, who have cancelled flights will rescind that and reinstate their flight schedules. If that, however, does not happen, what would the impact be on the recovery of the aviation and tourism sectors in South Africa?
Critical. It will be detrimental. I mean, we've appealed and we are ecstatic that we've been able to open up our borders and reignite our economy. We know the positive contribution that the aviation industry has on the economy of South Africa. It is critical that we resolve this issue so that we can have the airlines operate. And absolutely, if we don't get this resolved, more airlines will be cancelling their flights because unfortunately, this is just not possible. We reaffirm our commitment as airlines to ensure that we curb the spread of because our survival is dependent on this, and that's why we adhere to all the directives. We are highly regulated, so we understand government. We're working with government to ensure that we adhere to everything that is required from a protocol perspective, but this specific issue is a major challenge, and we need to get it resolved urgently so that no more airlines cancel flights. And of course, this is to reignite our economy, which we desperately need to save livelihoods and save jobs, because the industry has really witnessed a disastrous effect as far as job losses are concerned.
Carla, before I let you go, different countries have different risk classifications for destinations. How are airlines supposed to juggle the complexities of determining which passenger is allowed to travel where?
So it is very, very complex, and hence the protocols that are being issued in the respective countries need to be cascaded throughout the value chain to make sure that everybody understands, and all the distribution segments. So we rely on the travel agents, the trade, the respective government stakeholders, the airport authorities, to ensure that such protocols are shared in the respective governments, and to be able to ensure that the communication element from A to Z is addressed, and that everybody understands the protocols. It's extremely complex because every country has their own regulations, and then of course we have to adhere to those. It's about implementation, communication throughout the respective departments, and of course more importantly is to make sure that we communicate it to the traveller. We did expect some teething issues, as with anything. It is very complex. It is a situation that is unprecedented, that none of us have ever had to embrace. So one needs to work through the teething issues and make sure that we communicate very effectively and efficiently so that everybody understands the regulations and protocols. So it is very, very challenging and very complex. We're trying to simplify it as much as possible.
Thank you very much, Carla da Silva, from the Board of Airline Representatives of South Africa.